Good afternoon. Welcome into the WBAY newsroom. I'm Chris Roth. Thanks for joining us on this First Alert Fastcast on this Monday afternoon as we interrupt local news live to tell you what we are working on here locally for you today. We have some stories working. We have some reporters out in the field. So let's get you started with this one. Strikes us as interesting, certainly with the holiday season upon us. As we bring it up here, let's bring it to you. And hang on just a second. Let's get this going here. All right, take a look at this. This is from the Fox Crossing PD. This was released today. Now, we all know Legos make a great Christmas gift, right? But they apparently make a rather enticing target these days for thieves. This is kind of a national trend, according to police. That's what they tell us. And Fox Crossing PD releasing these security photos today of a suspect. You just saw him in that Lego theft. Jason Zimmerman looking into this today, as this has been, like we said, a national trend. So he's talking with law enforcement. We'll learn more about it. He'll have something on this coming up tonight at 4 o'clock. But again, we're going to talk with Jason as you take a look at those security photos again about what this looks like nationally and why all of a sudden they are seeing it locally. We'll discuss that on Action 2 News at 4:30. But again, reports coming up tonight at 4 o'clock on this as well. Also today, we're going to revisit a story that we brought you back in the fall with Brittany Schmidt, a working group formed under the Criminal Justice Board. Let's bring up the information here for you so you can see that. A working group formed under the Criminal Justice Coordinated Board earlier this fall has now completed its work, is making 4 recommendations now to the board. And these recommendations will help provide judges with more information when they set bond amounts for those charged in crimes. Now, we discussed this with Brittany back in the fall when it formed on our 4:30 program. She's going to join me again today as we break down these 4 recommendations. Well, the Packers coming off a victory yesterday, but it was costly in the backfield, so roster moves have been made. Reportedly, they are protecting themselves at running back by adding former all-rookie running back James Robinson to the practice squad. That, according to SI's Bill Huber, who had that report first. The former Jaguar spent a couple weeks on that practice squad earlier this fall, but he was released a few weeks ago to make room for another rookie running back, Ellis Merriweather. Now both could be activated to play on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit, as the Packers will almost certainly be without Aaron Jones, who injured his knee yesterday in that win over the Chargers, and Emmanuel Wilson, who hurt his shoulder just a few plays later. Both those guys are likely out. And one more bit of news for you, football related wise. We thought you might enjoy this. A former Packer quarterback is going to make his start for the Jets on Black Friday against the Dolphins. It is not Aaron Rodgers, as you can see, who is not ready to come back from his torn Achilles, but Tim Boyle will replace Zach Wilson, who has now been benched in New York. Tim Boyle, of course, became a fan favorite around here with his August performances when he was with the Packers in training camp. Became known as the Laser Show, so he's going to make his 4th career start coming up on Friday. His other 3 starts came with the Detroit Lions. So those are some of the stories we're working on today. We also want to take a look at this as the DOT, let's bring this up here as we take a look at this. The DOT has released its peak travel times for this holiday week. The roads are going to be busy. Of course, we had holiday travelers as you're taking a live look at our traffic cams right now. We're going to have everybody out traveling for Thanksgiving. Then everybody's going to be out traveling to go shopping on Black Friday. Don't forget, it's the final weekend of gun deer season, so plan accordingly because the roads are going to be busy, and they are going to be most busy, according to the DOT, at these times right here, 2 to 6 o'clock on Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 3 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. Black Friday, they say it'll be the busiest on the roads between noon and 4 o'clock, and then Saturday and Sunday between 3 and 5 o'clock. So what is it going to be like travel-wise? Hang on, we got to keep talking here because our technical expert, hang on, we're going to get to David Ernst in just a second. We're going to take a look at what the weather looks like on those travel times, but our technical expert's over here playing with his phone, and I have no idea what that means. Do you want me to keep going? Can I keep going? I don't. David cannot hear me at all. Why not? Well, that's going to make things difficult. Let's put this up real quick. David, can you hear me?
Yep.
Let's find out here. Wait a minute. Hang on. This needs to go away. Folks, we were so close to having our first seamless Fastcast with me, but it did not happen. So now, this high technology desk that we have, David, apparently you're hearing me through somebody's speakerphone. So
yes. I've got the IFB in. I was hearing things earlier, but not so much the case now. But I can see we're on, and we're going with the speakerphone here.
You want me to run down the travel times real quick for you? That they said was going to be peak travel times on the DOTs. You want me to run those down so you can tell us about the weather?
Yeah, we should be pretty quiet locally during those peak travel times. Our only issue to speak of in terms of local weather in the forecast is going to be late tonight, and as we get into tomorrow morning, there's going to be the system that causes bigger issues to our southeast. That is going to bring some light rain, and it probably does start to mix with a little bit of wet snow up towards the Fox Valley, maybe even as far north as Green Bay or Shawano before it starts to push its way towards the southeast of the area. Now, this would be very light activity, and temperatures are likely above freezing as the system is coming on through. So I would not expect that we have major issues to deal with as it's coming in. Notice the temperatures are holding in the middle 30s, even some upper 30s, where we have that little disturbance. So by and large, I don't expect that we have major problems in the area tomorrow morning, but you'll certainly want to touch base with Steve and Catherine early on just to see how things are going there. But once we get into the afternoon, we'll be drying out, and then we shouldn't have any big problems, again, here into Wednesday, but there could be some issues in the eastern half of the country, and of course, we'll cover that in our full forecasts here at 4, 5, and 6.
All right, David, thank you. Let me put that back on. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we'll get the mice to spin the wheel a little faster next time, and we'll be good to go here. I should probably take that off while you're working. He's working. You get to see him in real time putting those graphics together. All right, let's take a look at what else we're working on today for you. Let me get this up real quick. Put that over there and bring up today's menu so you can take a look at some of the other stories. We already talked about the Lego and the bond recommendations. At 4 o'clock, Aisha Morales from our First Alert Safety Desk will talk about some salmonella recalls going on right now in our area. Kind of important as we put food on the tables this week for celebrations. At 4:30, we'll speak with the Outagamie County Mentorship Program as they look for a need for mentors right after one of their mentors was honored by the Milwaukee Bucks. Very cool story and a very big need. We'll talk about that at 4:30. At 5 o'clock, gas prices. We talked about travel, right? Gas prices taking a dive. That's good timing for all of us. And at 6 o'clock, the 988 suicide hotline, 15 months now in existence. We'll do an update with them and check in on how that is progressing and the need for that. So let's see what happened here. Let's get back to this. And we'll drop this out over here so we can wrap this up for you this afternoon, and we are back in our newsroom, and we hope to see you back here at WBAY on Action 2 News at 4, 4:30, 5, and 6. For now, that's our First Alert Fastcast. I'm Chris Roth. We'll take you back to local news live, and we'll see you back here tonight at 4 o'clock.